Good morning, everybody. Welcome to your Rangers Review morning briefing. It is Friday, the 11th of April. I'm Derek Clark, and I'm joined this morning. It brings me great delight to say we're joined by a happy Stevie Clifford, I would imagine. How's it going, Stevie?
Yeah, I'm good, thank you. Barely awake, but I am good. It was extremely late night last night, but yeah, I'm very happy. Very happy. So, as we discussed how the game went and all that, I think we've got to be happy with that. But bang on time as well, Derek. You and I,
Oh,
consummate
yeah.
professionals this morning. What a troopers, eh? Can't beat it.
Yeah, they've got the big guns out this morning, so yeah, no messing about whatsoever. If you want to get your comments in, folks, remember you have to be a subscriber to the channel, so make sure you hit that subscribe button on YouTube. And yeah, I'm sure we'll have loads of comments after the events at Ibrox last night. Quick word for our podcast sponsors as well, S1 Jobs. If it's time to hand in your transfer request, head over to S1 Jobs and upload your CV today. With thousands of jobs across Glasgow, Edinburgh and the surrounding areas, you'll find the one at S1 Jobs. Right, yeah, it was a good night at Ibrox last night. A goalless draw against Athletic Bilbao, but over the course of the game, I think we're all pretty happy with that, given what Rangers had to contend with last night. Of course, big calls were made by Barry Ferguson, in which he was justified. Liam Kelly came in for Jack Butland. Bailey Rice started in the midfield as well. Rangers down to 10 men early on. Robin Proper sent off, harshly or not. He was dismissed after 12 minutes. I immediately thought of Jose Mourinho's comments after that Rangers Fenerbahce game when he was alluding to some skullduggery going on between UEFA and Bilbao to get them to the final. But Rangers were resolute after that. They were then had to contend with a farcical VAR check after Bilbao had netted what they thought was a legitimate goal. We had a check for offside, and before Dujon Sterling was adjudged to have handled the ball. Really, really harsh on Dujon, but Liam Kelly stepped up and produced a great save to deny Bilbao the penalty and the opening goal. And yeah, Rangers managed to hold out. I had to finish the match with 9 men, with Dujon Sterling injured in stoppage time, 12 minutes of stoppage time, but Rangers saw it out, and it leaves it in the balance for next week. That's all I asked for, Stevie, and many others, that Rangers were in the tie next week. Barry said it himself, do not concede, make sure you've given yourself a chance for next week, and they've done that.
More than in it, Derek. More than in it for next week, and make no mistakes about it. They'll be well aware of our away form and what we're capable of, and they'll be very wary of our performance. I was really proud of the players last night in the face of adversity to give us that much, and it's all I go on about it quite a lot about. All I ask for is 100%, and the players to give us absolutely everything, and the players gave us absolutely everything last night in the face of that adversity that I talked about. So really proud of them. Really delighted that we're still in the tie, and make no mistakes, that I thoroughly believe we can go and get something next week. So this is very much far from over. They won't fancy it because they'll know about Rangers' capabilities away from home. So yeah, more than happy to still be in the tie, that's for sure.
Yeah, some of the big moments in the game, the proper sending off, Stevie. I'm sure you've watched it back when you're sitting in the stadium. Of course, you get a yellow to begin with. The referee was called over to the monitor. Usually when that happens, it's pretty ominous. And then he dismisses Robin Proper after just 12 minutes. I was fearing the worst at that point. Correct decision or not?
It's a correct decision, but it's first of all, that all comes from Rangers having a goal kick and try to play it out, and it's the only time we kind of did it on the night, but it's the kind of mistakes where you're trying to iron out and we don't do it. That's a big issue for us. And then we get sliced open far too easy. Balogun has a chop, misses, and then Proper does take him out quite cynically. In the laws of the game, it is denying a clear goal scoring opportunity, because at the point where he turns, he is in, and he is about to get a shot away, but we don't see that often enough. Because I think in our game and in real time and stuff, they would have said Yilmaz might come back and might have excuses not to give it. So it's a tough one for us to take. Laws of the game says it is correct, so it's just one we have to get on with. Proper gets too tight. It is a very rash tackle, isn't it? Unfortunately, Derek, it is. We would be screaming if it was up the other end.
I know.
And it's one of those ones you just need to accept, unfortunately.
Yeah, not ideal, but fair play to Rangers for sticking to, well, I imagine the game plan changed slightly and they went more defensive. Of course, they had to, given the man advantage that Bilbao had. Liam Kelly was a big call, Stevie. Now, you appeared on the pre-match show with myself and Joshua, and you said it's a bit like Football Manager after suffering a number of defeats, and you just throw a team together and hope it works. Well, it worked last night. Liam Kelly was superb to come into that environment after not playing much for a number, months, you could say. He's not had first-team football. Jack Butland came back in. Remember, there was a bit of discussion whether Liam Kelly should keep his place for Old Trafford, but Butland came in. But Barry made the decision to drop Jack Butland. This is what you had to say in the post-match press conference, folks, on making that call.
I've had to do. Firstly, I think Jack Butland is a top goalkeeper. Secondly, I've got a very, very good relationship with Jack. I've known Jack a long time. He was a young kid coming through at Birmingham when I went down to play for Birmingham in the Premier League. And thirdly, I've got to know it's hurting Jack, and I've got to be mindful of that as well, because I care for him. So I just had to make a decision, and it was a tough decision. When I spoke to him, I could see he was hurting. So yeah, you go with decisions. It's not one that I decided on Saturday night or Sunday. I thought long and hard about it.
So there you go, Stevie. Were you happy, first of all, to see Kelly between the sticks, and what did you make of his performance last night?
No, I wasn't happy. But I knew deep down it was the right decision. And that's no slight on Liam Kelly. I just think that if you take the Butland side of it first, I think it's a huge call. And I just wasn't sure. I said it beforehand that I wasn't sure that. I think that, if I can try and explain this, I think that Jack Butland had to be dropped. And I said it during the week that I think he had to be dropped. But I wasn't sure if this is the time to do it. So would I have held off and just played them and then changed them? I think that was the option. To put Kelly in to such a big game at such a huge moment is a massive call last night. And my gut feeling, and I can't change it, and it would be wrong for me to sit here and say, oh, absolutely great decision, thoroughly backed it. There was a level of concern for me because I thought it was a really big ask in terms of Liam Kelly coming in. I'm not somebody that subscribed to some of the comments about Jack and about Liam Kelly even in the last week or so, but I had subscribed to the fact that I think it got to the point where, Jack was becoming a massive liability. And I think the issue with that is, Derek, I spoke about this on my column last week, that Jack Butland's more than capable of being Rangers number one, more than capable. But his run of poor performances now aren't weeks, it isn't months, it's over a calendar season in terms of what he's done over a calendar year. And the mistakes he's made this season are up in 15-20 category of mistakes. And they're every week now. And I think that when you make those level of mistakes, they are getting highlighted. He made a mistake against Celtic, made a mistake against Dundee, made a mistake against Hibs, and they are very avoidable. And I think that it was inevitable that Liam Kelly was going to come in at some point because of that. I don't think you could trust Butland anymore to do I'm not going to say easy, because not being a goalkeeper isn't easy, but the expectancy level of things that we were thinking he should be saving. If I can go back to the Hibs game at the weekend, I've not been on since then. That goal by Dylan Levitt is ridiculous from a goalkeeping point of view. It's more or less straight at him, and it goes completely through him. And this, unfortunately, when you tally up and look at the mistakes against Dundee, Motherwell at home, Celtic away with his kicking and stuff like that, he's had big moments and big saves, but it was becoming inevitable that he was going to have to come out of the team. I just wasn't sure it was the right moment to do it, and I'll say that quite honestly. Beforehand, I just wasn't sure. It was a huge call. Every faith in Liam Kelly to come in and do well, but he far exceeded what I thought he was capable of. Some wonderful saves from him. Good composure, came and took crosses, dealt with the ball at his feet really well. And of course, that penalty save, which is a huge moment, and he'll get all the plaudits for that. But his all-round game, Derek, put the penalties aside at one moment, his all-round game was a 10 out of 10, spot on, and that's what you need. You just need competency from that level, from your goalkeeper that we've not had. You never felt in danger when it went back to his feet. You never felt in danger when it came in crosswise.
No.
And shot stopping, we know he should be a good shot stopper because he's at Motherwell, no disrespect, he was so much busier. And he proved that he had, I think, 3 or 4 really good saves last night. The double save just around 40 minutes, where he tips it over and then from the corner grasped that one to his top left.
I love that when goalies do that, Stevie. See when they just hold the ball instead of palming it away. Brilliant.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he had one in the second half, and then of course his penalty save. So all round his game, Derek, was spot on. Barry Ferguson got the call. Got it absolutely, bang on, and it was a big ballsy decision because, as I said, to drop your number one. And the other side of that is, I don't think there's any way back for Jack Butland now for the rest of the season. And I don't think even if Liam Kelly had made a mistake last night, Jack Butland comes back in. I think Jack Butland's done now, and he'll have to sit and watch for the rest of the season. And Liam Kelly, having come in, deserves a run now to see what he can do.
Yep.
And I think he's got the number one jersey now. So that's why it's such a big decision. He's made it. He's made it for the right reasons. He spoke really well about it. And do you know what? I'll end it by saying this. Full credit to Jack Butland. First thing he did at full time was run to Liam Kelly and embrace Liam Kelly and be happy for his teammate and stuff like that. And that to me showed a level of class from Jack Butland, who could have sat and sulked. He could have sat there, but no, he straight away went to Liam Kelly, and I just thought that was a classy moment from Big Jack.
Yeah, fair play to him for that. Liam Kelly spoke well as well after the game. You can go and watch his interview in the Mix Zone over in the YouTube channel, folks. I do enjoy hearing from Kelly. He's a Bear, of course, a big Rangers fan. He was living the dream last night, his first European match. And I wonder if he got much sleep last night, but he wasn't getting carried away. He knows that there's still a job to do next week. Yeah, you're going to butt in there, Stevie?
Not butt in, Derek. I would never do that to you. I do ramble too much and I do interrupt you. I'm not meaning to. I was going to just say that I actually got Liam Kelly last night as well. In the Mix Zone, he stopped and spoke to fan media. I made a point of it. And said I want to speak to Stevie. So really good, really nice guy. Really grounded. He said last night on his performance, he said to me he didn't have much to do. He classed that as quite a quiet night for him. And he was just happy to have been helped the team and been involved. He's grounded. He thinks it's halftime. Looking forward to Sunday. That's always, we'll look after next week when it comes, but we'll look forward to Sunday. So I thought Liam Kelly, look, this is a guy that's captain Motherwell, been in Scotland squads and everything else. Speaking to Stevie Naismith last night before the game, and he was saying that he's in there because of, the character he is and how good he is. When the chance to go away with Scotland last summer, and he got in ahead of Xander Clark and things like that, it's third choice, and it speaks for the volume of what type of character he is. And he said he's massive in and amongst the dressing room. He's very vocal, very encouraging, like a proper leader, which is interesting. Stevie Naismith's been a manager and everything else. He knows that side of it, and also knows what it means to play for Rangers. So I just thought that was interesting, a little bit of an insight into Liam Kelly that you maybe don't think about. But as captain of Motherwell and things like that, my point being is when he speaks to media and does media, he knows he's very calm, he's very controlled, and I was very impressed with how he handled himself. There was no You know, it was no, I did this, I did that, nothing like that. I was very grounded and spoke really well. So, yeah, I enjoyed it. Really nice guy to speak to.
Yeah, spoke like a true Ranger is what I would say with that. Mark with the point says, is this the end for Butland then?
It is this season.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
It's,
it is for me, Derek, it is this season.
I think Rangers still need to go and get a new goalie in the summer, Stevie. It may very well be the end of his time at Ibrox. I would like to see maybe Rangers moving them on, get them off the wage bill and bring someone else in. That is my view on it. I don't know if you agree with that or not.
I do, because here's the thing. If Jack Butland's not your number one, he's certainly not going to be backup or certainly not third choice. Liam Kelly is more than adequate to be your second choice goalkeeper if he's not going to be your first one. He deserves a chance now to prove whether or not he can be your first choice goalkeeper. And he'll get that towards the end of the season. But Jack Butland's season for Rangers, I think, is over because that's now Liam Kelly's jersey. And even if Liam Kelly makes a mistake, I'm not putting Jack Butland back in. Jack Butland's had a series of mistakes and we've kept with him. So, yeah, I would say that Jack Butland in the summer, there's a good chance Rangers will move on. He's on, 40-odd thousand a week, I think Derek has spoken about. That's too much to be sat on the bench and not being performing for us. So, yeah, I would think that he's at a real crossroads now in his Rangers career, that's for sure, Jack Butland. I think you're right. I think what you've said there sums up.
Yeah. So Kelly, of course, the man of the moment. Of course, Bailey Rice was stretchered off. It was good to see him clapping the fans as he made his way off the pitch. Always worrying when you're down for that length of time. But he was taken off. Incidentally, UEFA not having a concussion sub is a joke. I would like to think that the governing body can sort that out. But Ross with the point, however, Bailey Rice and Sterling, hopefully they're okay this morning. I know Sterling think going for a scan, Stevie. Bailey Rice, I don't expect to see at the weekend. Sterling's a worry for me because I thought he was good until he went down last night.
Yeah, I thought Sterling was excellent. Some of the blocks he made, last-ditch tackles and things like that. Let's be honest with you, I'll be surprised if Sterling plays for the rest of the season. There's only 6 weeks left. I'd be amazed if that's a knock or something. He went down holding his Achilles. Maybe it's just tight.
Yeah,
I don't know, but I'd be amazed if you saw him for the rest of the season. And it's such a shame. We know that he had broke his kind of shin, didn't he? He'd fractured a bone in his leg against Hibs away. My initial thought was, let's hope it's not a reoccurrence of that. And then people were saying it looks like he's holding his Achilles and stuff like that as well. So that's going to be, best case scenario, that'd be 3-4 weeks. And that's still going to be enough to keep you out for more or less the rest of the season.
Yeah.
So it's a huge blow. If he's not coming back on when he knows we've got 9 men as well, that kind of tells me that, because you would put yourself through everything to get back on, but he couldn't walk, he couldn't stand up. And I think that kind of tells me where we're at. So I did have a wee chuckle when Bailey Rice went off, and I probably shouldn't, but my mind goes to really weird places. And there's a film called Any Given Sunday.
Oh, yeah, I've seen it. The speech,
right?
Al Pacino.
Yes, of course. And the big quarterback goes off injured, and they're saying that he's got one more tackle in before, like, in case he needs his £1 million bonus. And when he gets stretchered off, he's kind of going like that and everything else and waving to the crowd and stuff. And for some reason, in my head, I had a wee chuckle to myself because Bailey Rice was, of course, doing the exact same thing, waving to the crowd and kind of applauding and stuff like that. So after the initial concern, and we know he's okay, that's great. After that, I did find it a wee bit amusing to myself because, as I said, my head goes to weird places. And in that moment, it reminded me of that film. And so, yeah.
But he's another one. That's a big call from Barry, Stevie. That was a huge call.
His team selection last night was wild in terms of the big calls he made. They were all over the place. Bailey Rice to start was a huge decision. Yanis Hadji to come in from the cold, by the way, another huge decision. To start Cyril Dessers again, another huge decision. Barry had them all over the place last night. Can you argue that he got them right? I don't think you can argue against them. So, all credit to him. I really wasn't sure. I said it. I thought the midfield was in real danger of getting overrun. I wasn't sure of Hadji coming in. But Hadji gave you absolutely everything. He worked his socks off, didn't he? And he put in a really good performance. I thought Bailey Rice was really good. The only couple of times in the first half, towards the end of the half, he got it and just kind of kicked it away. And at that point, you were like, you do need a wee bit of stability on the ball. Could he recycle it? Could he use it? I'm not sure. And that was really it. It was a flawless kind of performance. Otherwise, really good. Especially, here's the thing. I've seen quite a lot of Bailey Rice, and Bailey Rice is a sitting number 6, and he wants time on the ball to break lines. He's not the type of player, I think, that plays left side of a midfield 4. He's more of a sitter. He's more of a 6. He likes to dictate. He will play the kind of passes that keep your game going. And when we went to 10, I was really concerned about him going on the left side of midfield, but his work rate, his effort, tracking back, putting in tackles. Here's another thing, Derek. How many midfielders did you see last night running off our team and getting through and making runs? It didn't happen. The only time that we had runs from Atletico last night was the big fella up top. So the midfield, which has been much maligned for a while, I thought we got it kind of spot on. So, no, all credit to Barry. I really wasn't sure. Really, 6 changes, 2 of them enforced. I got it. But I was more than concerned beforehand. But all credit to him. The changes he made worked. He obviously had a plan, worked on it beforehand. And we go to Pittodrie on Sunday, which I'll be perfectly honest, don't care about in the slightest.
No, I mean,
take the kids, because Thursday's what it's all about, and we should go there with the biggest, possible. I would not like to see us risk players on Sunday and lose them, because you know what our injury record's like. So I know that I say I don't care. Obviously, we all care about the result and everything else, but it's all about Thursday. It's the biggest game of the season, and we've got a real opportunity, and we're still in it. So prioritise that would be exactly what I would think.
Absolutely. Of course, we're on Instagram as well. A few comments that caught my eye. Del Smith says, those games are going to be the end of me, lads. Couldn't even drink my beer. I was that anxious. A great battling performance. And it's all to play for with the big players returning. And some interesting stuff. He also asked who drops out for the returning Diamandi next week. I thought that the midfield put a massive shift in, especially Hadji. I think looking at it, Rice, I'd imagine, drops out. Diamandi comes in alongside Raskin. And then, I think, do you play Hadji? I think I'm tempted to play Hadji in that midfield. Does Conor Barron come in? It's decisions that Barry Ferguson is going to have to make ahead of the game. Just on Pittodrie, incidentally, this Blue Elsa Blue says, good chance we've seen the last of both Butland and Proper this past week. I'd be playing Proper on Sunday. Given that he's unavailable on Thursday, I'm playing at a completely fringe team up at Pittodrie. I'd probably play Liam Kelly, because I think that sort of makes sense. That aside, even I was thinking last night before I went to bed, who are you dropping and who are you bringing in? I'd even be thinking about not playing Tav, bringing someone from the youth team in to play right back. I'd maybe be playing Enciala in there. Danilo, I'd be playing up front. Cortez, I'd be playing. McCausland should be coming in. Any player that played last night, Stevie, I'd be wrapping in cotton wool, aside from probably the goalie.
Yeah, Tav will play, because Tav, I think, works like that. He, goes game to game, wants to play every game. So I think my back line would be along the lines of Tav, Proper, Inciala, and then whoever plays left back will be the one that doesn't play on Thursday night. So if it's going to be Redvan, then Jeffy's the one that plays. Your midfield, it's difficult because you've got no numbers in there. Could you bring Fernandez in and go at 3 at the back? That's an interesting one. So could you play, is Tom Lawrence fit? I don't know what's going on with Tom Lawrence again. Could Tom Lawrence play on Sunday?
Last night.
He was in the squad. I didn't see the bench for some weird reason. So didn't know he was on the bench. That's good. So could you bring Tom Lawrence in? Connor Barron, could he start? Could you then play Cortez on the left? You could go Egaman, Danilo.
I don't think he was in the squad. Was he on? Was he on the bench? Was he? Because the team lineup came out never had his name in the subs.
That's what I'm asking. I don't know. You said he was in the
Oh
squad.
no, I said he wasn't in the squad. No, he wasn't in the squad last night.
I apologise. I have misheard you. I thought you said he was. So
No.
yeah, you know, the midfield probably your biggest issue, but you could have McCausland and Cortez. You could play Danilo up front, game time wise. That would be nice. You could have Egaman in there as well. So I think there is, and I would rather Barry done that 100%. I would rather they done that because it's all about Thursday for me. And I know you go up to Aberdeen and you don't like to not win these kind of games, but it's a nothing match. So it's got to be about Thursday for me. So you know you've got an ideal time to play a couple other players that might think that this is their opportunity as well to try and do something and catch the eye. So, and of course it's away from home, so you know we should be all right.
Yeah, like you, it's all about Thursday. I'm actually surprised. I've said this before. I don't know if Rangers asked the governing body to get the week off and rearrange that game, given that I mean this is a Scottish club in the latter stages of European competition, with the possibility, a realistic chance, a good shout of making it to the last four. I'm surprised they never said, here, let's just move this game to another point. I don't know if there's free space with what is left of the season, but you would like to have thought that the SFA, SPFL would like to help their member clubs out when they're representing Scottish football ever so well, as they often do in these competitions. But it certainly is a game we could be doing without, Stevie. I think it's fair to say.
We don't play in green, Derek, so there's no point in asking for any help from that lot, is there? So.
Yeah, well, I know Valverde's not too happy as well about fixture congestion over there in Spain. He's hit out of the Spanish FA about the amount of games that they're going to have to play, which could, listen, as much as the final is in Bilbao and they are very much hoping to get there, one of the favourites for the competition, that brings with it real pressure, Stevie, and that might play into the hands of Rangers, who we know can work well under the underdog tag. Could that maybe work in Rangers' favour next week?
Yeah, look, I think we've proved already when you go to Malmo, Nice, Olympiacos and play extremely well, done really well at Old Trafford, and win in Fenerbahce, that our away form, you know, we've won in Betis and drawn in Benfica in previous rounds last year, so why not? You know, we are not out of this at all. And after 11 minutes last night and 10 men, you thought to yourself, this could be extremely difficult. The Williams brothers, either side, are the threat. The big guy up front missed that clean opportunity when it was whizzed across and he put it wide. He looked a bit of a...
Sonadi.
I mean, he's the sort of guy, I think, you know, that would take one chance in 20 as well, and we've already got a guy like that. So he would kind of drive the frustration in me. A dangerous player, but I don't want to say I didn't see anything from them, but I was a bit underwhelmed by what they had to offer, and I'm not sure they're as strong or as good as Fenerbahce was when they came to Ibrox in the previous round. So they'll obviously take it up a level at home and come at us, but that suits us perfectly, and we're normally, you know, quite good in these circumstances. So honestly, it's all there, Derek. Like it's all there for Rangers, and we're more than in it. And if you go there and you sting them early, and then all of a sudden they're having to come and get us and stuff like that, then it's more than capable. And I can't wait. I'm really looking forward to it. And I honestly, I fancy us a wee bit. So if it was Dundee away, I'd be going, but Bilbao away, no, we can on a Thursday. We can have a go at that. No problem at all.
Yeah, I'm delighted as well that the tie's alive because, heading over there, I'm very much looking forward to it. This is interesting. Dave says, read a statistic last night. That was the first time since 2017 that Athletic haven't scored in a European tie. I don't think they've been the return to European competition this season. I'm not too sure they've been in played much in European football, but it's a very interesting stat nonetheless.
Technically, then, it doesn't make Dave wrong, does it?
Yeah, absolutely spot on. Yep, and fair play has to go to the Rangers rear guard for the whole team, of course, for what was a tremendous performance last night to keep them out. VR pretty much worked in Rangers' favour, you could say, when they netted that opening goal. I was like, no, that could be a real killer. And when it gave the penalty, you're thinking, no, we're going to score here, and then Liam Kelly stepped up and done the rest. So could be a big momentum shifter, that.
Such a harsh decision, Derek. Such a harsh
the game's they saying the game's gone, Stevie. What's worse, the fans don't know what's going on. The UEFA need to get a grip of this. Mic up the referee so we can hear what the conversations are.
So we were obviously in the gantry up the back of the main stand, and I originally thought, I said straight away that's offside because it looked to me like the boy was beyond Kelly and then came back into play. And I've said at the time, that's offside.
Yeah.
And then the longer it went on, we're like a minute behind the game-wise watching. So we had to wait for it to catch up with as we were watching it live on the monitors. And it came through and you're like, right, this is going to be offside because he's offside. And then somebody in the crowd said, they're checking for a penalty for Bilbao. And I was like, how? How is that possible? And then you looked at it. And I was like, surely not. And here's where it becomes a bit of a weird scenario for me. Raskin had a handball in the first half, right? Doesn't know where it is. Accidentally plays it with his hand. Sterling doesn't know where that ball is. He's watching it come over his head. His arms are in an absolutely natural position as they should be. They glance it slightly, doesn't change the trajectory of the ball, which the boy still gets to, and it leads to a goal which they score. It's not interfered with play. It's not done anything anywhere. It's skiffed his fingers. The law of the game is such a harsh decision. And yeah, look, red card, fine. No problem with that. The penalty, Derek, I've got an issue with that. I really do. Because if you're given that, you're surely giving Raskins one in the first half as well. So where's the justification? He told Tavernier last night that it was a deliberate handball from Sterling. I mean, what? In what way was that deliberate in the slightest? It's over his head. He's in stride. His arms are not... It's not like his arms up there. His arms at his side as he's striding, it's slightly out because that's where the naturally trajectory would be if you're running. Not that I would know. I've not run in a long time. But, you know, when I did run, my arms were kind of out there. So, Derek, I think that's really harsh for me. Really, really, really harsh. So, yeah. Disappointing.
Yeah, the fact that nobody knows in the stadium what's going on. It's just an absolute joke.
I couldn't believe it, and I was watching it. Even I didn't see it, and it wasn't. Somebody in the crowd had to say to me they're checking for a Bilbao penalty for us to then look for it on the screen because we're not hearing the commentary either. So I agree with you from that point of view. It was crazy, and I just honestly I think that's an extremely harsh decision.
Yeah. Justice was done, but that's not the point. Again, what we're talking about, human beings have got arms. They can't just chop their arms off and play football. So, I would like the UEFA to have a look at that, but I very much doubt that they will.
If the decision is deliberate handball, like the referee is told Tav, then that's scandalous. There's no way is that deliberate.
Yeah, I'm concerned where the game is going at this point in time, but there you go. Some comments to come in before we wrap things up. Well, first of all, Blazing Blue says, is there a presser today? Need to hear about the injuries. No, there is not a presser today, buddy. So no press conference ahead of the game on Sunday. Blue Pills at Blue says, Super Ali still blowing a gasket on Talk Sport this morning about that red card. Yeah, he wasn't best pleased, was he, about Proper's sending off. Not happy whatsoever was Super Ali last night. Jim says as well, love this. Greetings from North Derbyshire. 5 days trip to Bilbao from Heathrow on Monday afternoon. Cannot wait now. One of thousands heading over there to the Spanish city. I wish I was going for 5 days. I've heard it's a lovely part of the world up there in the Basque country. The food is exceptional as well. So, have a cracking time, Jim. Hopefully it's a memorable trip, and we're celebrating Rangers in a European semi-final, which would be utterly incredible or phenomenal, as Jose Mourinho said. I'm expecting all sorts next week, Stevie. Let's just hope Rangers can have 11 men on the park and give themselves half a chance.
Yeah, as Liam Kelly said, deal with Thursday when it comes. Hopefully the team got a huge kind of boost from that last night. It was important to stop the rot at Ibrox as well, which they done, handled a situation really well. Let's go up to Sunday and, try and deal with that best we can. And then we'll worry about Thursday next week, won't we? So, yeah. Looking forward to it. Really can't wait. We're still in it. What a massive chance we have. And people can say whatever they want about Rangers and about our performances, this, that, and everything else, and sit and slag us at home while their team's long been pumped out of Europe. So, you've got to be in it to win it, and we're certainly still in it going to Bilbao next week, and that's all we want.
Yeah, it'd be good. Lots of comments, and it'd be good to have John Suter back as well. It certainly will be. And good that there was a number of players running the yellow card suspension tightrope last night. All came through that unscathed. Bring it on next week. Right, that'll do us there. Big thank you to Stevie as ever, and thank you to you all for tuning into the show. You must have a piece on the website this week, Stevie, coming out over the weekend, do you?
Reliably informed by the boss last night that I can write it on the way home from Pittodrie on Sunday. So I will write it on the way home from Pittodrie on Sunday. So maybe out Sunday night, Monday morning kind of type of thing. And then I'll be on next week, Tuesday, I believe. And then I'll have a piece when we come back from sunny Spain and Rangers are safely through the semi-finals.
Yes. Yeah, it's going to be a huge week. There's nothing beats. I said this last night. Rangers playing European football and it's still daylight outside, and it's springtime. It means that they've gone far and deep in European competition. It's something to be savoured, that's for sure. Big shout out to John, who is celebrating his 36th birthday today. Happy birthday, John. Hopefully you have a fantastic day. Right, we'll wrap up there. There's Nico Raskin interview, I think, dropping on the YouTube channel shortly, folks, so keep your eyes peeled for that. You can go and watch what Barry and Liam Kelly had to say after the game as well. Enjoy your Friday. And we'll have all the usual coverage for you from Pittodrie on Sunday also. So, we'll have you covered over the weekend. But enjoy your weekend and bye for now.